Hello and welcome to QiCurious Qigong. I'm Jennie and we're here today with our 5 Elements for Beginners series, focused on the earth element. Let's begin in Wuji posture. Feet will be about shoulder distance apart, knees soft, pelvis is neutral or gently tucked forward. The spine is spacious and elongated, and the top of the skull is smiling up to the sky above. Arms are relaxed at the sides. There's a little breath between the arms and the body. Shoulders relaxed. And in this Wuji posture, I invite you to bring one palm over the other at the lower dantian, your lower abdomen, your center of energy. And here we'll connect with our present moment as we invite the breath to deepen and lengthen, growing smoother and more even as it slows down and carries us toward a sense of tranquility. And here we'll take a few moments with a little Buddha belly breathing. And yes, you heard that right. This is my invitation to you to embrace that Buddha belly. Relax the abdomen. Not something that we're often taught in our society, but it will help you to expand that breath in a downward motion. So as we relax the belly, with the inhale, we can also relax the diaphragm. This isn't a forceful breath in, this is simply allowing for expansion. And as we relax in the belly, that breath can expand front and back and to both sides as well. Feeling yourself expanding like a balloon with each inhale. Play with a sense of relaxation. It's not always something that comes naturally right away, so enjoy the journey. Notice when you do connect with that sense of deep relaxation. And as we take a few more breaths together, deep into our Buddha belly, you might bring your mind down into your feet, feeling their connection with the earth below, feeling that support that the earth constantly offers, gentle and steadfast. Take a couple more breaths for yourself, relaxing into each. And then we'll gently release the palms. And we'll come into a little motion, beginning with wave arms. One palm will gently chase the other as we bring a twist into the spine, coming one side and then the other, just feeling the spine out, seeing what you have to work with comfortably today. There's always the invitation to simply stay with a gentle. But if you feel called to join me, we can transition into knocking on the door of life, allowing the palms to gently knock along the front, lower abdomen, and the lower back. That lower back point between the two kidneys is known as the door of life, the Mimen. It's a source of vitality. So here we wake up that vital energy within us. But you might also let that front arm wrap around the mid-abdomen, around the area of the stomach and the spleen, getting a little connection here with those organs for the earth element. Waking up into center, waking up those digestive organs, and then bring that slowly back. Allowing the palms to come to stillness at either side. We'll then bring them into loose fists and we'll come into spinal cord breathing, inhaling, opening heart to the sky, exhaling, elbows come close together and we bend forward into this gentle C curve. Inhaling, a light back bend. Exhaling, we tuck in. Feeling the spine expanding in front and then expanding through the back. And as you tuck forward, release in the pelvis, release in the cervical spine of the neck. Allow this to involve your whole spine, top to bottom, whatever is available to you today. And as always, that is the golden rule. That's the golden rule in life, but the golden rule in Qigong is to listen in to what is available for you and your body today. Always feel free to modify. You know your body best. And Qigong's all about building that relationship. And once more. And we'll release back to center, reconnect with Wuji. And we'll come into one more spinal enlivening form, side to side with dog wags its tail. Let's come into this one with a little variation here. First, just allowing the hips to pull to one side while you slowly drop the head, the shoulders, and a very relaxed arm to one side. And then bring that through to the opposite side. So a little string pulling the hip. And then release head, neck, and shoulder to the opposite side. And then we can tighten that up a little bit, but keep that side to side motion. A little curve coming left and right here as the dog wags its tail. So the hips gently gliding side to side. Keep that little bend in your knees here to enable that motion. And allow the spine to simply make a C in one direction and then the other. Oh, we don't always move our bodies in this manner, so keep it as small as feels right for you. It should feel delightful, like a little opening. Like a happy dog wagging its tail. And then bring that back to center. And take a breath, just listening into the spine. Feeling it beginning to open. Release tension. And be prepared to move. Now let's come into the neck and shoulders. We're going to take our feathers. We'll spread them, pressing gently down to either diagonal here. We're going to take one ear toward one shoulder, just setting it. Either ear, either shoulder is fine. Not pressing in here, but softly beginning to roll the chin forward and back over this shoulder. Invite you to use a purging breath here. Inhaling through the nose, gently blowing out the mouth. And we'll take chin to chest. We'll roll through to the opposite shoulder. And checking that you're just gently setting that ear toward the shoulder, and then begin rolling front to back. Purging breath. Many of us carry tension. Our worry, our strain shows up in our shoulders, and this motion in and of itself is a delightful release, but that purging breath in through the nose, out through the mouth helps to add to the release. Let's take it down, chin to chest. Come up through center. Give a little wiggle to those arms as needed. Give a little wiggle to your body whenever you need. And we'll come into the opposite stretch. So crane's beak, all our fingers come together. We're going to turn that beak upward, and then with the back of the wrists, we'll gently press to either diagonal, and you'll feel different areas lighting up, a little different engagement through those arms. We're going to repeat ear to shoulder. Again, gently setting, and feel free to use that purging breath as you start to roll front to back. Gentle reminder to use 2/3 effort. So when you find your edge, contrary to what you might have been taught in much of our current culture, instead of pushing into it, soften away from it just a little bit. Conserve a little bit of energy so that you don't burn out. And we'll take our chin down to the chest. We'll roll through center, opposite ear to opposite shoulder. Inhale through the nose, blow out the mouth. Now with that 2/3 principle, if we're ever feeling under the weather for one reason or another, we actually suggest backing it off again, about 1/3. Because if you're not quite feeling in your full self, it's a sign that your body could use some extra energy reserves. We don't want to deplete it, we just want to nourish it. So you choose, listen into yourself. And bringing chin to chest, coming up through center, release that crane's beak and give a little wiggle to the arms. And maybe feel in for a moment and just see, what's the upper body feeling like? What are your neck and shoulders feeling like after that stretch? Beautiful. Then from here, we'll come into some activation, some knocking. So we'll come to those loose fists again. Gently going to knock, heart center. Here you're invited to join me in 3 big sighs. And then taking an open palm, either one, we'll come to the inside of the opposite arm. And we'll begin to tap down that inner arm. When you get to the palm, we'll flip it over. We'll tap up the outer arm. And of course, how much you tap, how hard, how firm, how soft. Let's repeat that. It's up to you. Some days may feel different than others. If you're feeling under the weather and using that 2/3 effort, it might be a gentle pat. You choose your day, your body. And we'll take that to the other side. We'll do 2 rounds on this side, slapping down those yin meridians of the upper body, slapping up the yang meridians. Here we both activate the qi and we do a little bit of cleansing, clearing. If there's any stagnant qi that's blocked in the joints, in the pathways, this helps to break that up, get it flowing. Come back to the chest. We'll gently knock with 1 more sigh. And then let's finish by brushing down the midline of the front body. A little soothing massage for the nervous system. Bringing the palms once again to the sides and taking a moment to sense and feel how things may have shifted in your upper body, what might have been activated or released. And we're going to take our little OK signs with the hands and we'll come to the back body. We'll begin here over the kidneys and the adrenal glands, tapping up and down either side of that door of life point where we were tapping and knocking at the beginning. Awakening the kidney qi. A little additional awakening for this lower abdominal region, this lower dantian. Kidney qi being very fundamental, supportive of all of our other qi. We'll then take our open palms and we'll go ahead and we'll slap down the backs of the legs. Carry that down the calves and around the toes, and then we'll slap up the inner legs. Let's go ahead and repeat that once more. Coming down the backs of the legs. In a very general way here, we're waking up our yin meridians of the legs, and then up the inner legs. I apologize. Knocking down the yang meridians and up the yin meridians. There we go. Let's come to those hip flexors and come back to loose fists. Gentle knocking here in that area, and we can add a bend and straighten with the legs. Here, we're opening those leg gates. Just so happens that the stomach and spleen meridians also run through this zone, and we'll talk a little more about those as we move forward, but they are tied to the earth element. So nice little opening here, getting that qi to flow through the legs up into the abdomen. Both those meridians run through those zones. And then bring that to stillness. check back in with yourself. Feel maybe a little buzzing, a little tingling, maybe just a little relief of tension as that qi begins to flow. And for the earth element, we'll come into a little abdominal knocking. So here, let's begin right over the navel. Just checking in here, tapping into our digestive region. Now, if you happen to have had a big 3-course meal right before doing this, keep it nice and light. But listen in, as always. Usually it's nice to maybe have had a light something to eat 30 to 60 minutes before your practice. Unless it's first thing in the morning, and sometimes first thing in the morning, just getting out of bed and doing a little Qigong on an empty stomach can be quite nice. At any rate, for our abdominal tapping today, keep it at the level that feels right for you. Here we're going to start to spiral out now. So we're going to come over to your left side and travel downward. I'll mirror you here. We'll travel up on your right side. Start to build this spiral outward from the navel. Gently checking in with all of these digestive organs. You've got your liver on the right, the stomach and spleen, your intestines, all of these organs working together in a fundamental way to help you process your food, giving you beautiful energy for your day. Let's take this around once more, and I'll meet you up at the solar plexus here, knocking and tapping in this area, releasing emotional cares, releasing worry that might be clouding your mind. Take a few nice deep breaths here, and then we'll reverse that tapping. Now we're going to travel down on the right. We're going to work that spiral back in, gathering this activated energy, moving it back down toward the navel. And you might even imagine that little spiral inside of you in that lower dantian. Then bring that to stillness. We'll cover one palm with the other just below the navel, resting on the sea of qi. And let's finish with a little abdominal massage to smooth it all out. Mirroring you again, we'll go up on the right, down on the left. This is said to be the most supportive direction for digestion, an aid to the natural motion of peristalsis in your system. So if you ever have a little bellyache, maybe had something that didn't quite agree with you, take the position that feels best at the time, but maybe also take a moment to just do a little abdominal massage up on the right, down on the left. Doesn't need to be super deep, but your body will feel this communication. Might help to soothe the system and maybe also move things along. And let's bring that back to stillness. Palms resting again over the lower dantian. Breathing into that Buddha belly. Relaxed downward inhale. And just noticing any messages coming from those digestive organs. You might find them thanking you for a little TLC. All right, we'll gently release the palms and go ahead and take a little wiggle. Feel free to reset that Wuji posture. And you know, if this isn't something you do every day, of course, you're always welcome to keep a chair or a stool on hand. You can take a seat. A lot of these forms translate beautifully to seated Qigong. We'll do a little seated Qigong together in the future too. But that is an option that's always available to you. Or if it's simply, I can stay standing, but wow, I'm not used to that posture. Do give yourself permission to maybe step it out an inch or two, work from that position for a little while, step it in an inch or two, work from that position. You'll notice, a lot of us might go around in a more straight-legged position in normal life, and yes, that's fine. But when we're practicing Qigong, those soft knees, if this isn't something you've held regularly, you're building a lot of strength in the legs as you simply stand in Wuji. So it's something to be aware of and something to step into little by little. So give yourself permission to do those minor adjustments. Take it step by step. And make sure that it's serving you as a strength building practice. Now, I will say some of that strength building is great for the earth element for those stomach and spleen meridians that we discussed. Just listen in, don't take it too far. Remember your 2/3 effort. And with that said, let's transition now toward our flowing section. We'll do that with a little bit of shaking. So wherever that Wuji posture is for you, we're going to go ahead and bounce into the body. If you're standing, this is bouncing gently from the heels up through the knees, letting the pelvis become loose. If you're sitting, this is going to be a little more upper body involved, and that's okay too. You might even just bring the heels off the ground and tap if you are in a seated position. Wherever you are today, please feel free to join me with the healing sound for the earth element. It's like the word who, except it's going to come from down here, breathy and guttural. Inhaling. Once more. And then bring that to stillness. Enjoy the little chi reverberation. And we'll utilize this chi and allow it to gently lift our arms, floating up in front, and then settling back down. As we float up, there's an inhale and a gentle bend in the knees. As we float down, we exhale, we stand a little taller. Opening the flow. And here we transition. Up until this point, we've been directing our chi, activating our chi. We've been purposeful in guiding our chi. But now, as we open the flow, we enter the flowing section. We ask the chi to guide us. We let go and we release. And we enter that flow state. Now, of course, if this is your first round with this video, that might not come off right away. You'll work with the mechanics first, and that is what everyone does. So it's perfect. But if you repeat this a few times, you'll find eventually these motions, these forms, enter your own form. So that you don't need to put your mind on them anymore. You can allow the flow to happen. And that's when this really becomes a beautiful, moving meditation. Once more. Allowing the palms to settle all the way back down. And then going to lift them up through center. The right palm is going to turn up about the level of the eye or the ear. The left palm will turn down just under the armpit, about the level of the floating ribs. We'll exhale, gently pressing apart. Inhale as the arms windmill to the opposite side. Reset, opposite palm facing up, opposite palm facing down, and we exhale and press. Inhale, spiraling through. And as we exhale, there's a gentle bend in the knees here. This is two hands push apart for the stomach and spleen. And here we've got some lovely connections for digestion and the stomach and spleen. First, this is considered a little internal massage, nice and gentle here, but as you're expanding on one side and then the other, those internal organs gently pressed and released. Additional to this, the upper palm, when it sets, is at the beginning of the stomach meridian. And the lower palm is connecting with the end of the external portion of the spleen meridian. So we've got two key points that help us with digestion, and that's literal, digesting of food, but that's also figurative, digestion of emotions, digestion of our thoughts, helping to process these so we can let them go, release them back to the earth. Once more. And then that upper palm Just simply going to glide down, facing the lower palm here. We'll gather a little chi ball between the palms. Begin some light pulsation. Listening in to the conversation that might be going on between your palms. Seeing if you sense and feel anything. Whatever that is, honor it in all its uniqueness for you. And then we'll transition, gathering those palms with that little chi ball between them. We'll come into pebble in the pond. This one we're going to exhale. Palms are going to brush out, skimming the surface of a pond, and they'll gather back in with the inhale. Exhale, they skim the water. Inhale, they gather into center. And again, a gentle bending of the knees as we skim out. Standing a little taller as we gather back in. Exhale. Inhale. Now with pebble in the pond, unlike some of the forms, for example, we did for water, this one does not involve an undulation of the spine. The spine is staying fairly upright as you gently come up and down. And that's because a lot of our focus here is in the legs for that motion. We're strengthening those meridians of the stomach and spleen. And gathering, feeling connection with your center, and feeling that ripple out across the water like a pebble being tossed into a pond. With the earth element, there's a sense of connection, and often our connection with those around us in a way that nourishes and supports. And so you might think of how you find yourself connected with others, where you feel most centered in that space, and how from that sense of center, your abundance ripples out and can be shared. And all that is made possible by you nurturing and nourishing your center. Let's do one more round. Then we're going to come into a standing posture, allowing those palms to float about the level of the solar plexus. Palms are facing the earth. And in this standing posture, holding the golden urn to the earth, let's connect with a few of the attributes of the earth element. So we've talked already about the stomach and the spleen, but to clarify, the spleen is the yin element, the yin organ for the earth element. The stomach is the yang organ. So the two complement each other, helping us to process, helping us to digest. Again, both literally and metaphorically. The season connected with the earth element is late summer. Very special time of year. I like to think of it as the harvest season. This is when our fruits and vegetables begin to appear, and sometimes in overwhelming abundance. And the color associated with the earth element is an amber, golden light. You might think of the beautiful color of sunflowers or the gold of a wheat field blowing under the sun. And even as we mention this, you might begin to feel that color in your palms, feel that in the conversation between your palms and the earth. Now, the emotion associated with the earth is worry. When challenged, the earth can lead us to these circular, repetitive thoughts, these worries that spin around, preoccupying our mind and, well, frankly, kind of leading to a mental sort of constipation. We have trouble processing them. Yet, the virtue of the earth element, its transformative power, is to take that worry and turn it into trust. You may reflect on how trust allows us to let go, allows us to release those worries, trusting that the world will keep turning, the earth will continue to support us. And there's also a sense of centeredness that comes with this trust. So as we stand here meditating with the earth below, I invite you to focus on any of these features that speak to you, and we'll take one more breath here. And then we'll gently, slowly release those palms, just as we release our cares. Feel free to gently adjust the feet. And we'll come into a playful form now. Monkey is one of our animals that can be reflected in the earth element. So a monkey is going to steal some earth chi. I'll give you a couple options here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to use a monkey paw here. This is a very gentle kind of version of our crane's beak. So where crane's beak brings all our fingers together, here with monkey, the fingers can kind of just relax and touch. Now, that little monkey paw will begin just kind of relaxing downward. We'll do this in slow-mo the first time. Monkey paw is going to open, spiral, and gather a little bit of earth chi. Sneaky little monkey. Now, monkey's going to take this earth chi up, and as we lift it up, we're going to tighten. Tighten in the buttocks, tighten through the abdomen, tighten in the shoulders, tighten in the arms, bring everything in. And then we're going to take a little peek over one shoulder. Did anybody see us steal that earth chi? No, I think we're okay. We bring the gaze back to center and we release everything. So this is very much tension and release practice, helping us to let go, to release. So once again, we've got our little monkey paw. One more slow-mo. We'll gather. We'll contract buttocks, abdomen, upper back, shoulders. Bring it all in. I don't know, did anybody see us? Let's check over the other shoulder. Take a little peek. I think the coast is clear and we can let go of that worry. Release everything back to earth. All right, let's pick that up just a little bit. We'll continue with this variation for the next 2 rounds. Gather that earth chi. Contract, contract, contract. Take a peek to see if anyone saw you. Turn the gaze back to center. Coast is clear. Let it go. And once more, grab some earth chi. Bring it up. Contract, contract. Take a peek over the opposite shoulder. I think we're in the clear. And release. Now, if you'd like to come into option 2, we'll do the same thing. We'll gather that earth chi, but as we contract, you're invited to come up on the tiptoes. Ooh, little balance challenge here. Here's the extra balance challenge. Can you see if the coast is clear by taking that gaze over the shoulder? Ooh, I think it is clear. We bring the gaze back, and then as we release, we set the heels back down. Once more, gather that earth chi. Contract, and if you like, come up on the heels. Bring it all in. Take a peek. Gently turning in the neck here. Not too forceful, nice and slow. I think the coast is clear. We let it go. And let's do one more to each side. Gather that earth chi. Bring it up. Tighten everything. Peek over the shoulder. Come back to center and let go. Exhale back to earth. Once more, gathering, contracting, inhaling everything in. We take that little peek. I think we're okay. We can release the worries. Exhale, sending them to the earth. Beautiful. And then shake that one out. Find your way back to Wuji. And let's do a little gathering of our sneaky little monkey, playful side of earth. Always something tasty to try out with earth, but sometimes stealing something tasty leads to worry, and we want to release that. Let it go. All right, let's bring those palms to face one another once again. Check in with that little chi ball. See if there's any different conversation between the palms, anything evolving through your practice. I'm going to invite you to roll that chi ball so that one palm is on top. If you'd like to mirror me, left over right. Here, we're going to gently skim the right palm out. Only the right palm. It's going to come around, and now it's going to gather under the left. The left will turn to face it. The left palm will skim out with an exhale. Travel around, and then with the inhale, come under the right. Single-handed pebble in the pond. And just as with pebble in the pond, there's a bend in the knees as we exhale. Stand a little taller with the inhale. And this one, for me, is a beautiful gathering back to center. I encourage you to just listen into your form and let the movement become nice and organic. You may notice a little reciprocal action here as you gather in and then turn back out. For me, it feels almost like I'm weaving an infinity symbol. Gentle returning and returning again. Building up that qi at your center. Let's take one more to each side. And then taking that little qi ball, we'll rotate it again, palm facing palm. And we'll come into another standing posture. This time the qi ball just rotates gently toward the earth. This is holding the qi ball to the earth. And you might bring a sensation of amber light radiating in those palms down toward the earth. Feeling an exchange of energy with the earth below. And as you stand, bring a sense of relaxation into this posture. Let that Buddha belly breathe. Let the diaphragm relax. Allowing big expansive breaths to sink you down toward the earth. And I invite you to take a moment with your own sense of trust. Maybe call to mind something you trust very much, whether that be part of nature, a person, a feeling, yourself. Or even just part of yourself. There is something to be said about trusting your gut. Take one more breath here. And then we'll gently release that qi ball into the earth. And we'll come into a modified bow stance. So we're going to take the legs just a little bit wider. Toes are going to turn out just a little bit here. And you can gently feel in to where your knees line up over the toes in a comfortable manner. Gently sinking the weight a little bit and feeling that sinking from center. We're going to move from center with this form, and if it's available, you might bring a little tuck into the pelvis. Then we're going to lift the palms to either side. Feel free to mirror me. As your left palm dips down, your right knee is going to bend. And then we'll reverse that. As the right palm dips down, the left knee bends. Inhaling up and exhaling as you gently tip to one side in rainbow dance. And here, feel that motion rocking left to right from center. As you tip side to side, imagine yourself between two panes of glass. So this is not forward, not back, but just side to side. Almost like your center point, that lower dantian, or gently rocking left to right, like the ticking of a clock. Like a little pendulum. And then feel into your palms and feel that rainbow. This little bridge between heaven and earth that you carry overhead. Feel with each tip your foot sinking into the earth as you deliver that rainbow with your dance. And once more to each side. And coming back to center, we'll gently gather that rainbow up, condensing, maybe into one big water droplet that we carry down through center to nourish the earth. Reset into your Wuji posture. We'll come into a final standing form. For this one palm below the other. If you're mirroring me, right below left and left in like a half prayer position. Palms are gently away from the body. This is the power of the immeasurable gods. And take a moment here, feeling the connection here with your center. The connection between earth below and sky above. The invitation to sink into the earth. Placing your trust there. Feeling its support, your sense of centeredness. And then gently reverse the palms. Left brushes over right. Left comes below, right above. And take a few personal breaths as you recognize your sense of center. Your connection to eternity and your connection to abundance. And we'll gently release. One palm brushes over the other, and we settle down. And we'll come into the closing form for peaceful Qi as we gather. Palms up to the sides, they turn overhead and draw down through center. First, a gentle cleansing and clearing, releasing, letting go of any residual worries and cares. Then gathering the positive attributes of the earth, trust, a sense of center, abundance and graciousness for that sharing of abundance. And fold these into yourself. And then a final gathering. Here we take all that good Qi that we built up and those positive attributes. We seal them in, a gift for us to carry forward as we step out into the world. I invite you to bring one palm over the other at the lower dantian. Stepping one foot in, followed by the other. Taking a breath as you rock and sway like a bamboo in the wind. Feeling how you naturally return to your center. And we'll close with 3 bows. Taking the dominant palm into a fist, your non-dominant palm sheaths your weapon. And we bow first to each other, to our fellow practitioners in whatever space or time they may find themselves. And a second bow is to our teachers, past, present, and future, in whatever form they may present themselves. And a third and final bow is to ourselves, to those who came before and those who will follow after, in one brilliant continuum. And with that, I thank you very much for joining me for this earth element practice.